It paints like Picasso, writes like Hemingway, and can probably beat you at chess while making your coffee. But there's a moment, just one question that stops it cold. Why? It hesitates, spins, maybe spits out a rehearsed answer. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. AI has no clue why it does what it does. We've created a thinking machine that can't think about thinking. And that gap? That's where neuroscience still holds the crown. Today, we're going deep into that abyss. Buckle up. At first glance, AI is dazzling. It analyzes data in milliseconds, generates human-like text, composes music, even simulates emotions. But don't be fooled. Beneath the brilliance is just statistics. Sophisticated algorithms mimicking understanding. It doesn't know. It correlates. Ask it to explain a joke and it might get close. Ask it why the joke is funny. It short-circuits. Why? Because funny requires context, memory, culture, experience. And this is the great illusion. AI acts like it gets it until you dig one layer deeper. It's a mirror reflecting our patterns, not a mind-forming meaning. So, while it may beat us at trivia, it flunks the existential test. And neuroscience? That's where the real story begins. The human brain isn't just a pattern recognizer, it's a storyteller, a meaning maker. We don't just compute, we interpret. Neuroscience shows how our brains constantly integrate memory, emotion, and imagination. We simulate futures, regret pasts, and build identities from contradiction. Ever felt something was wrong but couldn't explain why? That's not logic. It's intuition. Your brain connecting dots far beyond the conscious. Unlike AI, we don't just process information. We assign value to it. A song isn't just sound waves, it's nostalgia. A question isn't just data, it's purpose. And here's the kicker. We tolerate ambiguity. AI seeks clear inputs and outputs. Humans, we thrive in gray areas. Uncertainty is where insight lives. So when you ask, why? Your brain isn't just searching, it's becoming. AI can mimic the question, but the need to ask it, that's all us. I can tell you how, but not why. It can detect cancer, compose music, even hold a conversation. But ask it why it created something or what it believes, and the illusion cracks. Why? Because why requires intention, not just logic, but motivation, context, self-awareness. AI doesn't care if it's right. It doesn't doubt, it doesn't wonder, it doesn't feel curious, it doesn't need answers. It just generates them. The question, why, lives at the edge of human consciousness. It's where science meets philosophy, where emotion fuels inquiry. Until AI can want to know, not just calculate, it will always stumble when facing the question that built civilizations. Why? When humans ask why, we're not just seeking answers. We're shaping who we are. Each why is a mirror. Why did I choose this path? Why do I believe this? Why do I feel this way? These aren't bugs in the system. They're defining features of selfhood. Neuroscience shows that the brain constantly rewires itself around unresolved questions. Our identity isn't static. It's a dynamic narrative formed through internal dialogue. This is what AI lacks: a self to question, a memory that hurts, a dream that lingers. I can simulate thought, but it doesn't live in it. We, on the other hand, become what we question. And that's not just intelligence. That's conscious evolution. AI can recognize patterns. It can predict behavior. It can even write poetry. But what it can't do is doubt its own process. Neuroscience tells us that self-awareness requires metacognition, the ability to think about thinking. AI doesn't do that. It just executes. No hesitation, no reflection, no internal conflict. Humans, on the other hand, hesitate. We rethink. We contradict ourselves. And that's where growth happens. The brain's ability to question itself, to pause, to wonder, to change direction isn't a flaw. It's a superpower. AI may outthink us in speed, but it can't out-question us in depth. And in the realm of meaning, depth always wins. So, is AI the future? Absolutely. But without the human brain, its creator, its critic, its conscience, AI is just code without context. Neuroscience reminds us, true intelligence isn't about knowing all the answers, it's about asking better questions. Now I ask you, would you trust a mind that never doubts itself? If this made you think, good. That's your brain doing its job. Like, comment, and subscribe. Because curiosity deserves company.